Hello, I'm Aaron from Holcroft Nissan, and today is an exciting day as we get to review the all-new Nissan Qashqai Tekna Plus. So we're going to take a start from the front, and as you can see, Nissan have kept in with the original DNA all the way through, and it does extenuate throughout the range with this brand new huge V-motion grille and with the honeycomb effect grille. As well, you've got this nice 3D badge, and that isn't just there for good looks, that is packed with technology which includes front pedestrian emergency braking and also front emergency braking with vehicles. Moving on to the lights, these are full LED headlights. If you want the fog lights, you do have to upgrade to the LED pack, but on this model you get LEDs all the way through and full LED indicator strip lights and daytime running lights. One interesting fact, what I mentioned about the mild hybrid, is you do get these little vents that run through, and what they are actually designed for is to cool the brakes. So the air flows through and cools the brakes because it uses regenerative energy from the brakes to power the battery. From the side, with this being the top of the range, you do get these huge 20-inch diamond cut alloys, which, to be fair, they look awesome. And one nice little feature that I must admit I do like is the fact that they've got the Qashqai emblem embossed into the this little bumper accent here, which does make it look really, really premium and gives it that sort of feel. In the Tekna Plus, you can get different colour options. This is the burgundy, but you are able to get a different colour A-pillar and roof design along with your wing mirrors. But as you can see, Nissan have continued with that floating roof design, and this bit here is actually glass, which enables you a bit more vision when you're turning around and manoeuvring, which is really nice. Now, as you would come to expect, the car does have keyless entry, and when we go in, that's when you really see the huge differences. Stepping in to the car, you do feel that lovely premium feel. You can really see where the engineers and the designers have really tried to bring the car to life and make it just feel a little bit more top of the range, because you've got full quilted Napa leather seats, and you can start to see like the mood lighting, the full leather dash. It just gives it that really comfortable premium plush feeling that you want when you get into a car of this caliber. We're going to work all the way from the bottom up and across just to go through, because Nissan always ask us to talk about how much technology is packed into these cars, and to be fair, there is so much it's untrue. As you would expect with these kind of models, we do get keyless ignition, and because the Qashqai on this model in particular has preset for your seats, you can actually do both the driver and passenger, which is a really nice feature, because when you swap, you can have your seat set up exactly to what you want individually. Now, just in the armrest, we have got USB, and there is a nice little feed to come for your cables, but you also get both USB and USB-C. Now, something that's been introduced onto this model is the drive modes. This was never on before. We do get normal, standard, sport and eco, and this being the automatic, we get this new gear square, whereas the manual, you have the 6-speed manual box. You do get an electronic handbrake and auto hold features. So the auto hold feature will essentially stop you going anywhere when you come to a complete stop, whether you're on an incline, a decline, it's not going to move even on a flat surface. One of my favourite features, being the technology head, is you get a wireless charger, and you also get wireless Apple CarPlay. If you need to use Android Auto, it is wired, as that's not a technology feature that's there yet. And moving on up into here, we've got your fan speed settings as well as your dual climate control. Both passenger and driver are heated seats, and one of my absolute favourite things, which is now a must-have on a car, we do have a heated steering wheel, which I love, especially in the winter. The windscreen is also heated, and when you look closely you can see the elements run down, but it's obviously incredible in the winter when you can just get in and hit a button. Moving on to the screen. On here there is a whole host of features. We've got DAB radio, as you can see, Bluetooth audio for your phone connections, and if we go back, we do get full TomTom sat nav, which receives regular updates. and we get a bird's eye view. So on top of those parking sensors, you have got a steering guide for front, rear, and you can even see the side. Now that is my front left alloy, so I'll be honest, if I scuff this beautiful 20-inch alloy, I've got no excuses because it's right there. Moving on to the all-new digital dash, you can see that we've got, this is called a personal display down here, which means we can edit the icon within the rev counter, and we've got loads of settings we can choose. We've got, you can choose your satellite navigation, your fuel economy, and you should just be able to see that changing here. On the right hand side you do get a digital speedo, but on top of that, up here you'll see this is a screen that projects an image and gives us a head-up display. Now in there we've got our speedo, digital speed, traffic sign, speed recognition, and even if someone rings you, you'll notice that it comes up in that display. So when the mum's calling, you know who it is, and you don't have to take your eyes off the road to look down here. Now this has been raised to stop that prevention, but what you'll find is you use that head-up display more than most of the features that are down here because it's just that good. Onto the steering wheel, we have got all our controls, so we've got phone, voice recognition. Now interestingly, this point here is something called ProPilot. Now many people might know that as radar, cruise and lane keep assist, and what this system does is it effectively will slow you down to 0 and it will start you, so any speed that you want to go from and to, and we can't set it up at the moment because the parking brake is activated, the car will keep you in the lane and it will also monitor the vehicle in front. So I've used this numerous times and it is an absolutely fantastic feature. Obviously we would expect we've got automatic lights and automatic wipers, and we've also got auto high beam assist. So if we're down country lanes in the evening and it's dark outside, the lights are going to basically adapt. So if somebody is coming towards you in a car, this car will dip your main beams, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you've got there, it's great. In terms of comfort and design, this is one of the most comfortable cars I have ever sat in. And just down here is one of the awesome features, which you'll see is a seat massage, and we can even change how we want our back to be massaged. So we've got intensity and speed, we can choose between relaxing, refreshing, and it does give you that lovely sort of feature of just when you're driving along and you've just got that massage, it just gives you a different experience altogether, and that is available on both the passenger and driver side. In terms of safety, we have got blind spot monitoring in both the wing mirrors. We get a little amber light that tells us if something's in our blind spot, and as I mentioned earlier, you've got the front emergency braking system. Okay, now it is being a car that's designed for families, so let's go take a look at how that's going to benefit us in the rear. The lovely feature on this model, and it is actually all the way through the range, and being a parent I totally understand why this was designed. Now normally car doors open to sort of this sort of angle, it does make it quite difficult getting in and out, especially with child seats, and if anybody has also had to deal with ISOFIX, you'll understand my pain. But what Nissan have done is they've allowed the doors at the rear to open to almost 90 degrees, which gives you a much wider and a much easier way of getting in and out of the back. So even for people that struggle getting in and out as well, that gives us that nice sort of easy access and exit. Now, the full Nappa leather continues all the way into the rear, and as you can see, I'm not the tallest of people, but I do have plenty of room, and because this model's got the panoramic roof, I've got plenty of room at the back. It doesn't take up any of that headspace, which, let's face it, we don't want to sit and have a strained neck in the rear. And then moving on to the back, we're going to have a look at how they've designed the boot space. One of the great features on the rear of the car is the automated tailgate, and there's 3 different ways we can use this. We've got the key, and we do have a button just up here, and we can lock it in case we want to lock the car, and that will come down and lock the vehicle all together. Now if you're carrying loads of shopping, as long as the key is on your vicinity, you can use the kick sensor, and you have to remember that it is directly under the middle. So if you go straight from the bottom, you'll see straight down there. Now, that's obviously great when you're carrying shopping, you've got the kids running around, and you just need to get your things in and out. Now, the boot space, they have used as much usable space as possible where they've gone over the wheel arches, and it is a huge 504 litre boot, which for any family is going to be absolutely brilliant. In terms of design, you can see that they've used the Qashqai emblem and stretched it all the way across the back of the car, and in here you get LED brake lights and LED reversing lights. That is a bite-sized review of the all-new Nissan Qashqai Tekna Plus. We think it's an absolutely fantastic car, but the best person to decide is yourself, if it suits you. Now, please feel free to get in touch, come down for a test drive, or just come and have a look at how good this car really is. But thank you for watching. Please follow us on our social channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more bite-sized reviews and more product information.